up here to pray. If you wanted to stand, yeah, because Don's gonna come over. So yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to let you know. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Thursday, February 20th, 2025, full council meeting, Thursday night. At this time, we'll have Mr. Don Loudon, if you would approach the podium, and Mr. Don Loudon will be providing the prayer for us. After that, if you would, we'll have a 30-second moment of silence, and then remain standing with me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
So let's bow our heads and our hearts to the King of Kings. Lord Jesus, we thank you for this evening to gather together to do the business of the city. Lord, we pray that you be with our hearts and our minds, with the citizens of this city, but especially for those that we, the citizens, have elected to do our business and our bidding. Lord, give them a degree of knowledge, a great degree of heart, and a lot of wisdom that what they do is citizen serving and not self-serving. Thank you, Lord, for this evening. May the meeting go well. May everyone have a cool head, a calm heart. We pray this in that one name above all names, in the name of Jesus. Amen.
If you would, remain standing for a 30-second moment of silence. If you would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mr. Loudon. All right. Ms. Skelton, at your convenience, we can have a roll call.
Mr. George?
Here.
Ms. Wetzel? Ms. Young?
Here.
Mr. Olson? Mr. Bradley?
Here.
Mr. Pearson?
Here.
Mr. Gray?
Here.
Mr. Keller?
Here.
Mayor Teague?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
And myself. You have a quorum.
So let's make sure we have no more roll calls tonight for Mrs. Skelton. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, if we had the opportunity to look over the January 2nd and January 23rd minutes, and if so, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
I have a question about the minutes. Ms. Skelton, I know under the item 3, the prayer stuff, I believe Mr. Pearson was an yes vote, and I don't see his name under any of the yes votes. Was that correct?
That would be on the January. That'd be on the January 2nd meeting, correct? The minutes for January 2nd.
Yep.
On the policies and
Item
procedures
3.
meeting?
He made a motion, so clearly I know he was there, but I just wanted to make sure for the record that was cleared up.
I can double check and fix it.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Mr. Gray. Any other discussion?
Other than that, a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. This time, our finance director, Ms. Brittany Baker, will present the finances for February of 2025.
All right. General fund revenues for the month of January were $1,657,045, of which $1,086,911 were sales tax and state turnback, $144,678 were franchise fees and permits, $425,456 was other revenue. The tax revenue comparison, the city's portion of the county sales tax received for 2025 in January was $463,210, and for the county it was $565,199, and that's just a slight decrease over the previous year. As far as for budget as well, what was per se estimated budgeted was $490,104 for the city and $589,544 for the county, and it's just a touch below that. General fund expenditures for the month of January were $1,950,471, of which $1.4 million were personnel-related expenditures, $544,252 were utilities and other. Street fund revenues totaled $1,136,998 for the month of January, and you'll see the breakdown of those receipts underneath. Street operating revenue was 12.9% above projections. Street fund expenditures for the month of January, operational expenditures totaled $209,633, of which $166,489 were personnel-related expenses, $43,144 were utilities and other. And for the 2021 sales tax spending, there was $516,285 towards drainage projects, downtown improvements, US 64 West sidewalk project, and US 64 East pedestrian improvements. And there was no spending in the street capital or state turnback street projects. Economic development January revenue was $119,481, of which $97,142 was new sales tax and rent, $22,339 was interest. For expenditures, it totaled $2,534, all of which were street labor and materials. Below are the various balances of the economic development funds. In totality, that is $5,897,376.24. Capital asset funds, January revenue was $1052, all of which was interest. Expenditures was $168,775 towards the airport taxiway rehab, and $4122 for a condenser fan motor. Below, you'll see the breakdown from inception of the 2021 1-cent sales tax. You'll see what was received, what was spent, and the final balances there at the bottom. All added together, that's $22,197,604. And that concludes the finance report.
Thank you, Ms. Baker. All right, moving forward. All right, in the mayor's report, I would like to, we'll have the state of the city in the mayor's report tonight, but also would like to give some props to a lot of our employees, but especially those that work through our storm here. The citizens need to realize that anytime the city may close, the streets may close, you still have all of your emergency services that are working. Your fire, your police, your EMS, they are there to serve. Our public works crews did an amazing job working the plows and the salters and the sanders. And as you can tell, as you woke up this morning, or even when you went to bed last night, the streets looked really good. Super proud of them. And also, a lot of people don't realize that our animal control goes on 365 days a year. No matter what the weather looks like, we go in and take care of those babies. Their kennels get clean, they get fed, and they're taken care of. So I do appreciate all of our employees that really make the city of Russellville truly great. So, all right, fellow residents, city officials, and valued members of our community, what an incredible year 2024 has been for the city of Russellville. We can proudly reflect on a year marked by unprecedented events, remarkable growth, and the excitement of our community. Without a doubt, the highlight of 2024 was the total solar eclipse on April 8th. Russellville became the epicenter of this celestial phenomenon, hosting the largest event ever for our city. Thanks to a collaborative effort involving numerous agencies across our region, we welcomed visitors from all 50 states and 45 countries. This once-in-a-lifetime event provided a spectacular experience for countless spectators and earned Russellville national recognition. I'm particularly pleased to announce that our efforts during the solar eclipse garnered an honorable mention at the 2025 Municipal League Winter Conference. This recognition is a result of the hard work and dedication of everyone involved. Throughout the year, the City Council has continued to positively impact the lives of Russellville citizens. Our planning and development, permitting, and fire building safety departments have all seen continued growth and improvement, ensuring a smoother and more efficient process for our residents. We're witnessing exciting developments along the East Main Corridor with construction beginning on 3 new restaurants, Hardee's, which may be open. I don't know if they open today or really soon, Chipotle and Olive Garden. We have also seen completion of Panda Express. This influx of new business, along with the arrival of Academy Sports and Aldi, underscores the growing recognition of Russellville's growing economic landscape. Our Recreation and Parks Department experienced a near tripling of baseball and softball tournaments as a direct result of the City Council's investment of $1.75 million in artificial turf for Hickey and Pleasant View ballparks. This investment has not only attracted more tournaments, but has also provided our local athletes with top-notch facilities. Furthermore, the addition of 6 pickleball courts at our soccer complex, along with new lighting, expands recreational opportunities for residents of all ages. Infrastructure improvements have also been a priority. Sidewalk repair projects, new sidewalk additions have been completed throughout the city, with the Knoxville Drainage and Sidewalk Project being the most notable example. We have also enhanced safety by adding 2 new crossing guards at the DNR Railroad at the 16th and 19th. And also we did 4th Street too, I believe, this year. The Russellville Fire Department completed its 2nd year of providing fire-based EMS service, with projections for run volume and financial impact proving accurate. The Russellville Fire Department also demonstrated its commitment to mutual aid by sending a team to Florida to assist our neighbors during 2 hurricanes. We also proudly took possession of a $1.1 million ladder truck. A prime example of our 1-cent sales tax is directly benefiting the citizens of Russellville. The Russellville Regional Airport continues to be a vital asset, welcoming recreational and novice pilots along with multi-million-dollar jets serving local corporations and investors. We saw a record number of planes, 90 in total, visit the airport on April 8th to view the eclipse. We're also experiencing an increase in U.S. military aircraft utilizing our airport services. The Russellville Police Department has seen its officers recognized with prestigious statewide awards. Chief Ewan was named president of the Arkansas Chiefs Association. Officer Hobby was named Pope County Officer of the Year by the Arkansas Attorney General's Office. And Officer Shipley from RPD and paramedic Nolan from RFD received awards from the Arkansas American Legion. These accolades reflect the dedication and professionalism of our law enforcement and firefighting personnel. Our support departments play a crucial role in our city's success. Human Resources have effectively onboarded 45 new hires. Information technology ensures the smooth operation of our technology infrastructure, and the Finance Department diligently manages our budget and spending. Our Grants Department had an exceptional year, securing $1.4 million in grants for our various city departments, while also leading the implementation of the $24 million RAISE grant for future Russellville Connected Trail Systems. That team continues to excel in implementing that. Animal Control continues its compassionate work, successfully rehoming 324 animals this year. A look back at our citywide social media reveals a positive narrative of an amazing staff and community. As we look forward to 2025, we're excited about an upcoming redesign of our city website, a mobile app, as well as the completion of the Dig Russellville project. These initiatives will enhance communication and accessibility for our residents. I am proud of the progress we've made together in 2024. It's an honor to serve as your mayor alongside our amazing city council, and I'm confident that we will continue to achieve great things in the year to come. Thank you. All right. Got a departmental report from Mr. Patrick Karp, our airport director.
Good evening, council. Get this pulled up here.
While Mr. Carp's getting ready, I don't know if you guys saw that cool little fighter jet plane that came through, that trainer that came through. It's really cool. What you guys get to see out there, really a lot of cool stuff comes through the
There's
Russellville
some neat
Regional
stuff
Airport.
coming
Yes.
in. You never know what's going to come in.
Yeah.
As I go through this, please feel to interrupt me and ask any questions that you might have along the way. Go ahead and start with our 2024 traffic count. We had a total of 8,722 operations in 2024. And just to be clear, a touch and a go is 2 operations, so a landing and a takeoff. Single engines, we had 6,080. Fixed wing multi-engines, 823. Rotorcraft, 1,485. And non-applicable, is 334. And so something that we're super excited about that we did last October is we got an airport monitoring system. So that link that you see down there at the bottom, you can actually go to there and you can see our 24-hour operational numbers. And so that's also going to be on our website under the pilots page. 2024 fuel sales, Jet A is 82,966 gallons. Avgas is 33,195 gallons for a total fuel sales of 116,162 gallons. Total airport revenue was at $582,444.62. Jet fuel made up 58% of our total sales. Avgas made up 28% of our total sales. Hangar leases 11%, land leases 0.8%, and other such as conference room rentals and oil sales 0.4%. We do try to keep our fuel prices at a very competitive level. As you can see, most of our income is coming from fuel. So with that said, we do try to keep it very competitive within a 50-mile radius. Mr. Chisholm talked to y'all last month about this. I hope that was very informational. Regarding the grants. So the FAA grant that we have going on right now is a 90-10 grant for the apron reconstruction. It actually starts next month. So the FAA is going to pay 90%, and we're very fortunate that the state here in Arkansas pays 10%. Not every state does that, so we're very fortunate here in Arkansas for that. So some ADA grants that we have going on right now are an 80/20 equipment shop. That's going to house all of our equipment, give us a place to work. Right now, we're all over the airport. We were using hangar space and so forth to do all of our maintenance. So that's going to provide us the space to do everything under one roof. We also have an 80/20 grant for a taxiway rehabilitation, which is complete. I'll have a picture of that in just a moment. We have a 90/10 grant for Taxiway Bravo Connection, which I'll also have a picture of that in a moment. Other improvements, we've improved some drainage. Public Works did a phenomenal job on some drainage that we had out there. Here's our taxiway rehabilitation. I invite you to come out and take a look at it. If you haven't made it out there, there's several projects that we're going to have in the works here very shortly. So if you haven't been to the airport, I invite you to come out and take a look. I'll give you a rundown. Call the airport and let me know you're going to be coming out, and I'll be sure and be there. Here is the taxiway connection. So all of the pavement in the picture you see right there was not there previously. So that just enables us to travel from one point of the field to the other via one taxiway versus getting onto Alpha Taxiway. And here's our Public Works guys right here fixing up our drainage. That used to be a big ditch right there, which cars and planes and other things might fall into. So it is now filled in.
I'm not sure how that happens, but
Something I'm very excited about, or was very excited about in 2024, and I'm very excited about in 2025 is some events. We had what we called the River Valley Rally, or a charity flight, this past September. And what that entailed was pilots donating their time and their plane to charity, essentially. So the Arkansas Flight Safety Cooperative headed up a charity event at the airport. And so pilots from our community donated their time and their money and their plane to take the public up for a fee, which was donated to River Valley Food for Kids and Joseph's House. And just to be clear, that was Arkansas Flight Safety Cooperative that put this whole thing on. And we do intend on doing it again. The trunk or treat, I believe we had about 90 vehicles come through with multiple different, or multiple amounts of kids. Huge event, but here's the charity flight right here. The trunk or treat, people donated their time and their plane to, well, they didn't donate their plane, but they donated their time and candy for this event. It was a huge hit. We're looking at just getting the community more involved, essentially, with these events, with the aviation community. It truly is an amazing community out there, and we're very grateful for them. And here's the eclipse of 2024, as I'm sure you are all aware of. We had about 90 planes show up, and we pumped about 6,000 gallons of fuel. The chalks to the right there are actually, we made 175 of them, and they're actually branded, and we gave them out to all the incoming pilots. So overall, we had some very successful events, a very good year, and I look forward to 2025. Are there any questions?
Thank you, sir. Great job. Your team is really doing a good job out there.
Thank you.
Thanks to all of you. All right. Moving on to Personnel Committee. Do you have anything, Mr. Gray?
No report this month, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Keller, Finance Committee, you happen to have anything?
Yes, Mayor. We've got a couple items tonight. From our 5:30 meeting today, we've got item 1 is a consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to execute a memorandum of understanding between the city of Russellville and the Friends of the Lattimore Tourist Home. We can present item number 1 as a motion to adopt.
We have a motion from the Finance Committee to adopt this. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on.
Items number 2 and 2A. Item 2 is a consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with Metro Little Rock Alliance. And item 2A is an appropriation for a 1-year membership with Metro Little Rock Alliance in the amount of $7,823. We present items 2 and 2A as a motion to adopt.
We have a motion for 2 and 2A. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on.
Items 3 and 4. Item 3 is consideration of a resolution expressing willingness the city of Russellville to partner with the Arkansas Department of Transportation for the 16th Street Signal Upgrade Project. And item 4 is consideration of a resolution expressing willingness of the city to partner with the Arkansas Department of Transportation for the 19th Street Railroad Signal Upgrade Project. We present items 3 and 4 as a motion to adopt.
Have motions for item 3 and 4. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on.
Item 5 is an appropriation from the 2024 General Fund carryover to fund the postage to notify property owners of the mowing modifications that were adopted a few years ago and are going to be going into effect this year. We present item number 5 as a motion to adopt.
We have a motion for item 5. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
From our meeting last Tuesday, we have item 1 is a consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to apply for a 90-10 grant to renovate 1 West Hangar at the Russellville Municipal Airport. And we present item 1 as a motion to adopt.
All right, have a motion to adopt item 1. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on.
Item 2 is consideration of a resolution that authorized the destruction of accounting records for the year 2017 as authorized by ACA Code 14-59-114. We present item 2 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt item 2. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Item 3 is an appropriation from the 2021 Economic Development Capital Fund carryover balance in the sum of $42,072.28 to purchase a Kubota RTV with a broom and debris blower. We present item number 3 as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt item 3. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving forward.
Items 4 and 4A. Item 4 is an appropriation from the 2021 Parks and Rec Special Fund Reserves in the amount of $16,406.25 to purchase design services for the Russellville Skate Park bathrooms. And item 4A is consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to enter in an agreement with HTW Architects for the design of those skate park bathrooms. We present items 4 and 4A as a motion to adopt,
Got a motion on 4 and 4A. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question about it.
Yes, sir.
How is this bathroom going to be different than, say, the James Park restroom?
Terry, what's the difference on it? I mean, besides the plumbing and the way it's going to be differently? I think his question is, and I'll be honest with you, I did have a discussion with him, and I haven't got it with Ira. He's asking why you can't just use the blueprint from James Park and move it over to Harmon Park.
Or any of our existing facilities?
I don't know if they looked into that or not. They're going to have to tear down that building and completely redo the whole bathrooms. It'll probably be a smaller footprint over there because there's probably not as much traffic, but we can look into that.
I know James Park bathrooms were a little bit more expensive than what we're anticipating these to be, I
Right,
think, if they
right,
were, so.
yeah.
And I know, well, City Park, it's not gonna look the same as City Park, I know that, so.
Right. James and Sequoia were the last ones done. Sequoia was done probably 8 or 10 years ago. But James was the last one done, but I really don't think these will be as big. The footprint.
Yes,
of
the
this one.
footprint, yes.
Right.
So it's not as large, so it's a different bathroom, so.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Pearson, that I wasn't able to get with Mr. Ira this week, so. Okay, so we have a motion to adopt. Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, moving forward.
Items 5 and 5A. Item 5 is an appropriation from the 2021 Parks and Rec Special Fund Reserves in the amount of $209.22 for the purchase of new playground unit for James School Park. And 5A is a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to enter in an agreement to purchase the new playground unit for James School Park. And we present items 5 and 5A as a motion to adopt.
Have a motion for 5 and 5A. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving forward.
Item 6 is an appropriation from the 2021 Parks and Rec Special Reserve Fund in the amount of $36,466.20 to purchase the new fall zone surface for Crawford Park Playground Unit. We present item 6 as a motion to adopt.
Got a motion to adopt on item 6. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving forward.
Items 7 and 8. Item 7 is an appropriation from the 2024 General Fund carryover in the sum of $25,000 $34.75 to purchase an 18-foot Land Pride All-Flex mower. And item number 8 is an appropriation from the 2024 General Fund carryover in the sum of $19,758.75 to purchase a Land Pride All-Flex mower. We present items 7 and 8 as a motion to adopt.
I've got a motion or on 7 and 8 for approval. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, moving forward.
Item 9 is an appropriation from the 2024 General Fund carryover balance in the sum of $25,000 as the annual transfer to cover future network infrastructure needs. We present item number 9 as a motion to adopt.
Got a motion on item 9. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Moving forward.
Item 10 is an appropriation from the 2024 General Fund carryover balance in the sum of $225,000 to replenish the capital assets fund building cost budget. We present item 10 as a motion to adopt.
You got a motion on item 10. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Moving forward.
Item 11 is an appropriation from the 2024 General Fund carryover balance in the sum of $41,279 to purchase multi-user center point fund accounting software with installation and 12 months of support. We present number 11 as a motion to adopt.
Got a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Moving forward.
Item 12 is consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to execute an agreement to amend the CMAR contract with Blackstone Construction to install removable crash bollards in the downtown streetscape project. We present item number 12 as a motion to adopt.
Got a motion to adopt. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Moving on.
And the last item on our agenda this evening is a consideration of a resolution to authorize the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to enter in an agreement with the Arkansas Valley Alliance for Economic Development and to provide economic development services and economic workforce development services for the calendar year of 2025. We present item 13 as a motion to adopt.
I've got a motion to adopt on item 13. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right.
Yield the floor back to you.
Thank you, Chairman. All right, moving on to unfinished old business. Item 1 is a consideration of an ordinance to rezone certain property in the city of Russellville, Arkansas for other purposes, located at the corner of South Vancouver Avenue and West 12th. This is submitted by Barrett Associates on behalf of Rude Construction, unanimously recommended by the Planning Commission. This is the second of 3 readings, and I do have 5 people who have signed up to speak on behalf of this issue. If ladies and gentlemen, if you would approach the podium when I call your name, please state your name for those who are not here and at home and watching. And our first will be Bill Eaton.
Mr. Mayor,
Could you approach? Oh no, go ahead. Yes, sir. Yes.
I have a question.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I wait till last to make my presentation. Does it make any difference what order?
If you make that request and nobody has objections, I don't object. I'll move to the next one. So, okay, all right. So we'll, like I say, we'll move on. Like I say, Mr. Eaton will get his 3 minutes at last. The number 2 will be Mr. Phil Hutchinson.
Good evening. I'm Phil Hutchison, and I live at 1207 Whippoorwill Lane. The criteria for the land south of my property is zoned R1 was changed without notification to the public. The city changed the criteria of all land in the city that is R1 to a 5-foot side setback. To me, that means that if the neighbor next door wants to add on to his house, he can build a house within 5 feet from my property line. That is the major change to the use of the land, and no one was notified by a registered mail return receipt requested. That change was made. to not just empty the land, but to eat every R1 lot in the planning zone for the city of Russellville. I believe that every property owner in the R1 zone should have been notified by a certified mail return receipt requested by the city, allowing for the structure to be 5 foot next to their property line. There are lots without structures on them in the R1 zones that could now have 2 houses put up on them. Urban renewal or of R1 could also do the same thing for property 1 lot at a time. I consider this an issue that is germane to the development because I'm unaware of a subdivision built with a new R1 with the 50-foot lots and the 5-foot setbacks. This is placing twice as many structures on the same relative space and saying they are equal to the existing properties around them. I was approached after the agenda meeting and was pressed quite firmly that the structure in the city are only protected from the 10-year rainfall event and that only the pipe crossing the street carries a 25-year rainfall event. The Land Subdivision and Development Code dated 6/16/2023, section 4.2.3 parentheses 5 states, the storm drainage analysis shall be performed in a sufficient detail to illustrate the proposed system's capability of accommodating a not less than 1 in 25-year rainfall, except in the Central Business District, where the 1 in 50-year rainfall event will be used. Preliminary storm drainage plan incorporating proposed easement dimensions and typical ditch sections, period. It is clear and recently written that the 25-year rainfall event will be used in the ditches and on reserved easements shown on the plans. Partially read, it requires plainly read, it requires drainage drawings of some number of sheets with a plan view of the ditches and the sections with the widths and depths. I plead that you not approve this project as a walkable neighborhood or as R1 based on the errors in public notice on the zoning code changes leading to the situation where 0 members of the public were notified with a 50% reduction in the width of the lots and the side setbacks of 5 feet. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hutchinson. Miss Mary Tarvin, if you would approach, and please state your name, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You have 3
Yes.
minutes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I'm Mary Tarvin. I live at 1005 South Tulsa, and my son owns the house. He nor I, neither one, got a letter about it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Is there anything else you have for us, ma'am? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, all right, thank you. Mr. A.J. Walsh?
Good evening again. My name is A.J. Walsh, and I reside at 1006 South Tulsa. Ms. Tarvin, who's 92 years old, is my neighbor across the street. I've provided you with an attachment of the 2023 Russellville zoning code that sets out the procedures for a rezoning request and the responsibilities of the applicant and the planning department of the city. Included are 4 flagged and highlighted pages that apply to Section 10.5 of Article 1 of the zoning code. It sets forth the applicant, the applicant's representative, and the city's planning department responsibilities for written notification of a zoning change request to property owners or residents located 200 feet or less from the development site. David Garza of Barrett & Associates, the applicant's representative, has grievously denied over a dozen residents the right to notice and the opportunity to speak to the Planning Commission about the zoning change. Further, Mr. Garza has chosen to ignore the zoning code printed notice requirement and has directed employees to say that all required notice owners have received the required certified mail return receipt notice requested. That is not true. Barrett and Associates will claim their choice of mailing and affirmation of post office receipt meets the code. Barrett and Associates misinformed the Planning Department administrator, and she has informed me that she may be partially responsible because she didn't notify Mr. Garza of the certified mail return request directly. I know of no vision impairment that would relieve Mr. Garza of reading the 2023 zoning code. The rezoning request procedure has been violated, and action must be taken by the city. My research discovered that more than a dozen other non-notified neighbors, I interviewed many of them and have been told by several that they never received a letter from Barrett Associates or the city informing them of the zoning change. You heard from Mr. Hook at the last council meeting, and you have or will hear from others tonight. You will also hear an expert tell you that Mr. Garza's choice of mailing is not a substitute for certified mail return receipt requested. The withdrawal of the request and a total restart of the change application, Section 10.7.5 appears appropriate because immediate remedy is required. I have discovered that other likely requirements have not been met. I will continue my research, and I intend to hold this council, the city, Rude Construction Incorporated, and Barrett Associates accountable and responsible to following the city code. I encourage the residents of Russellville to use their right of freedom of speech, to continue rejecting land developer intimidation, to choose to retain the neighborhood Russellville values, and to not support or approve the city becoming a modern-day Pottersville. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walsh. And Mr. Perkins, Mr. Gary Perkins, if you would state your name.
My name is Gary Perkins, and I reside at 1014 South Tulsa Avenue. A.J. Walsh recently contacted me and asked me, since I'm a retired postmaster, to discuss with you tonight certified mail with a return receipt. Certified mail is a numbered service offered by the Postal Service. It provides a customer with evidence of the mailing of a first-class piece of mail to a recipient or recipients. A return receipt is a signed confirmation of delivery of the piece of mail. It's utilized when a customer must have proof that a piece of mail was indeed mailed to a particular recipient or a particular address. It's generally used for legal documentation, tax returns, government communications, etc. My background with mailing in regard to zoning issues while I was employed by the Postal Service a lot of times involved around individuals who were wishing to move mobile homes into neighborhoods that were not zoned for this type of residence. The customer, in these cases, had to mail letters by certified mail to all of the impacted neighbors. The letters would be signed by the recipients, and a return receipt such as this would be detached from the letter, and it would be mailed back to the sending customer. If it was not signed for in 5 days, they would receive a second notice to come in and sign for the letter. If not signed for after 15 days, the entire mail piece would be returned in its entirety to the sending customer. This would provide them with proof positive that each affected neighbor was afforded an opportunity to know of the pending action and react accordingly, as the sending customer either possessed the return receipt or he possessed the original letter marked return to sender by the Postal Service. Now, I can testify that I did indeed receive a copy of Barrett & Associates' letter concerning this rezoning request. However, I cannot speak for any of my fellow neighbors. And since the letters were not sent by certified mail, neither can Barrett & Associates, unfortunately. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Perkins. Mr. Bill Eaton.
Thank you, Council, Mr. Mayor, and other members of the public who are here. I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to speak here tonight. Some questions appear to be regarding the notices that were sent to adjacent neighbors and so forth that have, in my opinion, had some impact on what the concerns are, what the concerns could be, what the plans are all about, and that sort of thing. And had that been done as it should have been done, some of the questions and resistance to what is being considered here today could probably have been avoided. Now, back in 2010 and around that time, there was a lot of problems similar to this that were major issues for stormwater and its management plans and so forth for the city. It was something that required a lot of gnashing of teeth and pulling things out of certain orifices and things like that. And, you know, it needs to be rehashed again, and that is of real concern to me and here, and I think for the city. Now, questions about which of the things that are part of this plan, there are a lot of things in this rezoning change, this walkable neighborhood. It says here approves 18 allowed uses regarding condos, et cetera, and so on. And, you know, my question would be, Mr. Rude is here with us tonight. We've been friends a long time. I don't know if we will be friends going forward. However, I hope that we are. But I'd like to hear him address what some of the things are that he really has planned out here. Okay? And so I think that would maybe make a difference. And, you know, I've heard this plan is for 36 units on 6 acres. That's 1/6 of an acre per plot, 89 by 89 square feet. My lot is 110 by 110. That's 0.27 of an acre. 1/6 of an acre, there's not a whole lot of difference in that. What do you plan to put there, Mr. Rude, and where can I find what your plans are and how they will proceed? And I think if the public learns, and particularly the neighbors in that area learn what is going on, what you want this to look like, it might change some views. So that's my...
Thank you, Mr. Eaton.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Rude, you were asking a question. I will give you the opportunity if you or one of your representatives would like to. Okay.
For everyone to look at. The homes are going to be very nice.
Okay.
We have no intentions of building.
Mr. Rude, can I ask you to come up? I do apologize, sir. I know you didn't probably intend that, but so that the general public can be able to hear, I do apologize, Mr. Rude. And thank you for coming forward.
My name's Eddie Rude. I'll entertain any questions y'all have.
Okay. Well, would you repeat what you said as far as making brochures available and the fact that your office is available? Would you just repeat that? If
We had brochures at the last pre-meeting, and I gave them to all the council members. If y'all would be more than happy to come by my office anytime, you can look at them. We're working with an architectural firm right now for all the houses and what we're going to do. We have no intentions of doing anything in this neighborhood but homes. That's it.
Why can't you do it under R1?
We can.
Why don't you do it?
The only difference between R1 and the walkable is the setbacks. The setbacks on the walkable
will be closer, so we can put the garages in the back. The setbacks are the same.
Is it not true that you're putting in a smaller street than normal in an R1?
I have no idea. That's my architectural, engineering people will be doing that. I'm sure it'll be a street that is approved by the city.
Now, AJ, it will have to be a street that's approved that you can get a fire truck down and that you'll be able to drive on. There won't be any, we're not going to put anything in there that's going to be, that we can't get a fire truck down, so,
Yes, sir.
no.
For that driveway that's down between two houses, and turns into the garages there, how much space is there that they can get? Because there's two residents
Yes.
sharing the driveway.
Well, it depends.
Can they park a car on that piece of concrete outside of the garage?
Sure, because
How wide is it? I can't tell from the drawing.
well, it depends on the width of the lot. If the lot's 50 feet and we say 5 feet, we've got 45 feet. So if I build a 35-foot wide house, I've got 15 feet between houses, that's 30 feet. So, I mean, it's 20 feet is normal. So, I mean, it's nothing different on this walkable.
On that little bitty print, it looks a lot different.
Well, I mean, it's condensed. I mean, we've not moved forward on anything. I have everything that for y'all to look at. I mean, Bill, my office is open. You've been there many times. If
Mr.
y'all
Eaton
would've
does
come
know.
by-
What is your address, just if anyone wants to know?
I'm at 4810 West Main.
4810 West Main, if anyone is concerned.
Yeah.
Mr. Rude or his son are available.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, just call the office, make an appointment. I'd be more than happy to show you what we're doing. But the only difference in the R1 and the walkable is the front setback. That's it.
I was mentioning here, I was never notified that those setbacks were changed and the lots were made much smaller in R1.
Yeah, that was done 4 years ago.
Yeah, that was done
I didn't have
2023, yeah, or 2022, so.
They were going to change the lot that was behind my house.
That was a citywide
Yeah.
zoning code. So I don't know, Mr. Hutchinson, I don't know that what you're talking about two different things. Okay, unfortunately, when you're talking about changing the citywide zoning code, then it is not on the city to notify every resident in the city of a zoning code change. That is why the zoning code change, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Smith, our city attorney, the zoning code was that was prior to me being mayor, but the zoning code was discussed for a while, 18 months, close,
it was
probably
a long
18
time,
months.
and we had a lot
And
of-
so there were multiple discussions, and there were, that was, because I know as I was running for mayor, there was multiple. So, I mean, I think when that change was made, that was made to a citywide zoning code. So I don't think.
And this block of land was sitting behind my
Yes.
and all of a sudden now, I'm going to be 5 foot away from a house.
Yes.
And I'm saying,
No.
You won't be 5 foot away from a house.
And
No,
Ms.
it-
John Dahl, we started the changing that planning, that goes back to like 2020. We started asking for public input. We were having consultants. So this was a years-long process. It was not something that just came up
It
overnight.
was longer than that.
Yeah.
So, like I say, there was lots of discussion. Like I said, that was prior to that was passed in 2022, but prior to me sitting in this seat. But I don't think you're in danger of having a house 5 foot away from you. Yeah.
because I've got a drainage easement,
Yeah. So.
that's correct. But
The 5 foot setbacks are on the side. The 5 foot setback. Yes. So what?
And R1 setbacks where you are 10 foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, they're 10, 25, and 15. The R1 now will be 25, 5, and 15. It's the only difference. And the R1 now is 7,000 square feet, and yours is 9,600. But that was done. That had nothing to do with us. That was done prior to 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. We did not change that. The city did.
I hope you understand that several
There's been no changes.
I would call you on that because.
That'd be fine.
Conversations about one retaining basin, then two retaining basins, then one retaining basin again. I've heard other comments about other things. The question that I'm really after is, why do you need the walkable neighborhood code to get a smaller setback? You can still build those houses in R1.
Yeah.
The only problem
No.
with that is you can't build as many.
No.
Because you don't have the room for the setback.
No, the R1, I have to have a 25-foot front setback.
Yeah.
All the garages will be on the front. The walkable moves us to a 10-foot front setback. Then I can put the garage in the back. It's the only way to work. You can't do an R1 walkable that's with the R1 setbacks. I have to have the walkable so we can move it forward to make it work. This is done all over the country.
How many rows of homes do you expect to erect?
How many what?
How many
Rows.
of homes do you expect to erect?
36.
How many rows?
Rows.
Not individual buildings.
Row?
ROWS.
Rows?
Yeah, how many rows of like, how many, will there be one on this side of the street, two in the middle, and one on the other side?
Yeah, there'll
Is
be,
it,
yeah,
I
on
think
the
it's
outer and
four.
the inner,
Yeah,
yeah.
outer and the inner, I think Mr. Walsh is what he's talking about. Yes.
Yes.
And are you saying that you cannot build these homes, these nice-looking Victoria homes, at huge prices along a single oval going through the neighborhood?
Yeah, I
That-
can.
That's what
but-
he's
but
building one, he's
that's
building
what I'm
one.
going to do. These walkable houses are going to be from probably three.
It's going to allow you 2 rows of houses if you do that.
I don't guess I'm following you.
Well, the point is that you need to conform to R1. That's what it is now. That's what it is now. You're the person that asked for it to be called a walkable neighborhood. You're telling us that you want to build these magnificent homes, and that there's only one difference, and that's big, that you can't turn them around. And that's not true. You can turn them around in R1 and retain
No.
those
No, all the garages,
as long as you build 1 row, a street, and another row, and you connect that oval on both ends.
I can't make the houses look the way we want to make them look without doing walkable. I can't put the garages in the back. There's not enough setback.
So you have to make a zoning change for that.
Yes.
Yes.
Have y'all been to the Hendricks College houses in Conway?
I have, and I'm not impressed. Because they're surrounded by structures that are small business operations, lawyers' offices, they're 2 blocks from
We don't-
Walmart and all of that. But your site is 1.7 miles southwest of Boston Avenue and Avenue H.
Okay.
From Avenue H north from there, that whole section of the city has been designated for future use as walkable neighborhoods. Now,
Okay.
why are you a 1.8 mile away from there, not adjacent to any?
There's not any land over there, sir.
What?
There's not 7 or 8 acre tracts of land over there.
This is
to-
a 6-acre tract.
I understand that, but there's not that much acreage over there to develop. But I have this acreage.
Right. Mr. Walsh and Mr. Rude, I would be happy to set up a meeting where we could visit, and I would be happy to be there. Would you object to that, Mr. Rude?
No,
I
as
will
long
be-
as it's civil.
Yeah. And
I'm not
I would
gonna-
be happy to accommodate that to where we could actually come and look and to do several things. I'd be happy to do that if that would be okay. I will be out of pocket for a medical issue for the next week. But after that, before our next meeting, I would be happy to sit down with the two of you and moderate a meeting if Mr. Eaton would like to join, however that would be. Because I feel like I have a good relationship with all of you.
Yeah, sure.
And I think all of you would like to have a good conversation. So if we could do that, I think that may be a good step for us to take before going into the third reading. Does anyone object to that?
I would like to say one thing.
Yes, sir.
This will be my last development. I've been here my whole life. I've developed lots of property. I have lots of property. I wanted this to be very nice. I did not want it to be, I lived in your neighborhood for 15 years. Loved it down there. And if someone was building this project of this caliber there, I'd definitely be for it. No doubt about it. Because I've been to North Carolina, South Carolina, looked at these properties where the lot was $300,000 and the houses are 1.2. So I know what I'm doing. But this is going to be my last subdivision that I do. I didn't want to build the same thing I've built for 40 years. I wanted to build something very nice. May live in it, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Pardon me? Yeah. I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
But my better half said we were moving. so-
Okay. Well,
Anyway.
let's do that. I'll try to work with you guys and set up a meeting so that we can all get in a room and we can talk and visit. If you guys have no objection to that, I would like to be able to do that if possible.
Sure, my door's open anytime.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you guys welcoming in that meeting and trying to allow me to help accommodate that. Thank you so much for coming forward. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, so we are on the,
Yeah.
there's been no motion, so.
Make a motion that we suspend the rules, read by title only the second of 3 readings.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second on the reading. All in favor? Any opposed? Sir.
An ordinance rezoning certain really the city of Russellville, Arkansas, and for other purposes. This ordinance, if passed, would rezone property that has been well discussed before now around the 1000 block of South Vancouver from R1 to walkable neighborhood.
All right, thank you, sir. Moving on to new business. Item 1 is consideration ordinance amending the Russellville Oakland Cemetery Code to set a fixed range of Oakland Cemetery Commissioners for all other purposes. This is sponsored by Oakland Cemetery.
I would like to make a motion that we suspend the rules, read one time and one time only by title and a short explanation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for reading one time and one time only. Any discussion?
Yeah, could we just get a brief understanding from the liaison, please, on what's going on here?
Yeah, so Oakland Cemetery has traditionally had a flux in the number of commissioners that it's been able to get over the years, and this just sets a minimum and maximum number of commissioners from 3 to 9. So depending on how many people want to be involved in the Oakland Cemetery Commission, we're able to operate that way.
Thank you.
All right. We have a motion. Any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Moving on to item 2 is consideration.
Right. That was the
Oh, no,
suspension.
that is, oh, you've got to read. I'm sorry. Thanks, sir.
An ordinance amending the Russellville Oakland Cemetery Commission Code adopted by ordinance number 2460. For the purpose this was passed, would amend the cemetery code to go from a set number to a fixed range of 3, no less than 3, no more than 9, to sit on the commission, to be set by the commission.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion and a second to adopt. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Now moving on to item 2. Consideration ordinance to rezone a certain property from R1 to R2 medium-density residential located along 1000 block of Sequoia Way. This is submitted by William Strait on behalf of Victor Melchor.
Mayor, I move we suspend the rules, dispense with the reading requirement, read by title and short explanation only for the first of 3 readings.
All right. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, sir.
An ordinance rezoning certain realty to the city of Russellville, Arkansas, and for other purposes, this ordinance if passed would rezone property at 1,000 blocks of Sequoia Way from R1 to R2.
All right. Does anyone else have anything for the good of the council or the public, general public?
Second.
Have a motion, second adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are adjourned.